Hello, everybody, and welcome to Pixel Dungeon with Pixel Diamond. Today we have a very special event organized, and I'm going to admit this is the first time I've done this. I've ever done sharing multiple screens and that type of thing. So it's not the most professional setup, and there will probably be some technical hitches along the way, but we'll do our best to deliver you a good show. So yeah, thank you for joining us today. So to start out, we have two contestants. Exoy, the main contestant, wasn't able to make it today. One of the main contestants wasn't able to make it today, as he's feeling sick. So we have some other contestants here. We'll be starting with Jeff and Lord Yufubu. I should have probably gotten a little bit more details about these streamers before I started, but I'm learning as I go here, so I didn't get those details. But yeah, very excited to have these two as the first two contestants for the first semifinals match, and yeah, we'll get started here right away. I'm not sure what else to say, so I think we'll just jump right into it. Again, we have two semifinals matches and then a finals match from the winners of the two semifinals. The contestants get 2 resets each. For the first match, it's whoever beats the DM 300 first. That is for the first match. So, and I will now roll a virtual die for the 4 subclasses. Sorry, for the 8 subclasses. Here on Google, I guess. So here we go. I'm going to roll this dice and it will decide which of the subclasses that our contestants will be playing today for the first semifinals match. Okay, so I got a 4. That is Assassin. So today our contestants will be playing Assassin for the first semifinals match. And just let me update the overlay here. We have Assassin. It's an interesting class, not quite as much sustain as some of the others. You could say it's maybe a more challenging class. But let's see how our contestants do. Lots of damage with the Assassin class, so they have that in spades with their surprise attacks. So first contestant is Jeff, and our second contestant is Lord Yufubu. I'm just updating the overlay for everyone, and then we'll get into this. Okay. Okay. Okay, perfect. We've got our overlay is ready. I'm now going to reveal the contestants' screens. All right. Just a moment. Have to make sure everyone's visible here. Okay, there. Jeff is resetting his screen. Okay, I believe Jeff and everyone can hear me in chat there. So we will start shortly after I say go. Let me just transition us into live here so we can see the competitors' screens. And yeah, so we have degradation enabled for our competitors. Hey Quasi, welcome here. We have degradation enabled for our competitors. Again, 2 resets each. They're playing the Assassin subclass, and the first person to get to the DM 300, or the person who gets the furthest, wins this match. Again, 2 resets each. And I'm not sure what else to say, so I think we'll start the countdown momentarily. I'm going to count on the count of 3, and you may both begin. And the match is starting in 3, 2, 1, go. We have a little bit of a delay for Lord Yufubu, so we'll need to take that into account. I think he's following the stream for the go-ahead, so that's fine though. We'll keep that in mind here. Yeah, I guess this is kind of quiet for the stream, so I'll try and get a little bit of music here for us while we're watching these guys play. Yeah, so we're off. A Seed of Fade Leaf for Jeff, and he's already on the second floor. Still only strength 1. Okay. Lord Yufubu moving a little bit slower than Jeff. Jeff seems quite confident with his speed here. He's taking a decent amount of hits from that rat, but won't take too much damage. Let me just enable some music here, so it's not quite so quiet. I'll open my own Pixel Dungeon so we can get some background sound here. Lord Yufubu still on the first floor, and it looks like Jeff is completing his second round of the second floor here, just getting as many items in gold as he can. He's got a key to a key for this locked door here. Jeff's eating some food, half health, but feeling all right. And Jeff's already onto the third floor. Lord Yufubu's still figuring out what he'd like to do on the first floor, taking his time, which can be a strategy that could work. Lord Yufubu already has leather armor. That's giving him a bit more defense, which could be good. And it looks like he maybe has a blazing dagger. He's definitely taking his time. And Lord Yufubu has made it to the second floor. An open floor, which could be a little bit more dangerous. Actually, that's not true. An open floor is absolutely fine. Sorry, I cut out Lord Yufubu's screen there for a moment. And Jeff has some bombs, which are always good to have. Give him a bit of an advantage. But Lord Yufubu has 2 wands now. I'm not sure what the first one was. Yeah, his blazing dagger just lit the enemy on fire there, so... but Jeff has mail armor already, so he's feeling quite confident in his defense, I think. And Jeff is moving a lot faster than Lord Yufubu here. He's already onto the 4th floor. He's completed almost completed the ghost quest. He just needs to turn in the rat skull to complete that. And I will try and get some music going here for us. Just a little bit quiet with just my voice. Just one moment. Lord Yufu was still on the second floor. Jeff making a good headway here. He's encountered some flies on the fourth floor, which may actually give him some additional pots actually to start out, which could be good. All right, I'm just gonna open my own pixel dungeon here so we have some music. Okay. This setup is so janky. Oh my goodness. I'm completely new to this. I have so many windows open. Let's just turn down Pixel Dungeon here a little bit. But still get that music. Alright. Alright, we've got a bit of music here. Feels a bit better. So far, both of our contestants doing fine in terms of lives. No need to reset here for either of them, which is a promising look. It appears that Lord Yufubu is using the keyboard to move. I don't see him mousing over items, which is interesting. Jeff's just waiting to get the final enemy for his Scroll of Wipeout there, which he did get. And it looks like he's just finishing up exploring the last rooms here on the fourth floor, and it looks like he'll be going to the goo quite soon. Lord Yufubu has made it to the third floor. And he's doing some surprise attacks here. Whoops. What's going on? Just a moment. Let me close this out. Whoops, we've lost Lord Yufubu again. Sorry about that. Okay. I really need to find a better way to share screens next time, I think. And Jeff's got the bombs for the goo. He's also got mail armor, so he's feeling very comfortable here with this goo battle. Yeah, he's a little close. He's a little low here, but it doesn't really matter. And he kills the goo, no problem. First goo overcome by Jeff. Lord Yufubu's on the third floor. Still exploring, a much slower pace. About half the speed of Jeff. Jeff used the Scroll of Wipeout there in order to kill the shopkeeper. And now he's identifying all the potions and taking whatever he likes. His run is looking strong. Lord Yufubu onto the fourth floor now, finally getting closer to the goo fight. No key yet for that door to open it. And Jeff is just beginning to explore the 6th floor here. I don't know what his wand is. Maybe good to have some way of showing that in the future. Jeff is a little low here, so he's trying to heal. But that's hard to do. That can be hard to do because enemies keep showing up. And it appears his weapon isn't doing a whole lot of damage, so he's having a hard time killing these enemies. He's thinking about using the scroll of upgrade. He does have a quarterstaff. Lord Yufubu's still on the blazing dagger, which seems to be working out okay for him, but he's facing 2 crabs now at once. He just used a wand of... I can't remember the name of it, but he switched places with one of the crabs, which actually worked out okay. He ran away without taking too much damage from those 2 crabs, which is good. It looked like a tight spot, but he was able to make it out. And now Lord Yufubu killing a Knoll Scout and setting him on fire in the surrounding grass, but staying safe on the one spot of grass spot of no grass that he had there. Jeff farming flies now. He's unequipped his weapon in order to farm them. And Lord Yufubu was able to acquire a scale armor from the ghost. So he's even more defensive than Jeff here. But he may be moving slower, so... But I guess it won't matter since he's so tanky. Neither player using resets yet. Lord Yufubu finally opening that door to explore what's in there. His bags are full. He throws out the leather armor. That's a scale armor +3 for Lord Yufubu. That is a game finishing item. That should allow him to reach the end of the game if he upgrades it constantly. That is a strong item. However, it will degrade faster, but it gives him a lot of defense here. So Lord Yufubu finally making it to Goo. Jeff has slowed down somewhat, though. He's still on the 6th floor, so Lord Yufubu is actually catching up. And Jeff is still farming flies to ensure that he has potions. I think a few dropped there for him. And ooh, he's throwing a whole lot of potions out of his bag to identify them, Jeff there, and not managing to identify them, so that's not a great use of potions there. That's a little, in my opinion, that's a little unfortunate. So he does, that should be the fire potion he just picked up. And it is, which is good. He threw a whole lot of potions out without identifying them, so that's unfortunate. And Lord Yufubu is getting close to dead here on this goo fight. He's taking a lot of damage, surprisingly. I'm not sure what happened. I missed that for a little bit. Let's take a closer look here. He's very low. Lord Yufubu is very low. I think he's been taking super hits, or hasn't been. Oh, he has another potion. He has another few potions, so that's good. He's just not managing to deal enough damage to this goo. And he does take a supercharged hit from the goo, and he does die. The first reset for Lord Yufubu dies to the goo on the 5th floor. Let me just reset the overlay here. Let me see how I do this. Let me make sure you guys can see everything still. Good. And just bear with me while I update this. I hope you can still see everything. I'll try and do this as quickly as I can. I think I should have done this in OBS instead of Photoshop, but that's okay. Okay, Lord Yufubu on his second run here. Gets a scroll of... gets the scroll that calls the entire dungeon to him, which is fine. He's just dealing with rats right now. But it appears that Jeff has a wand of poison. He's dealing a lot of damage. He has decent armor. And he's just running through the enemies here on the 8th floor already. A scroll of multiplicity has given him a few clones that are running around the dungeon for him, so... Lord Yufubu just picked up a wand. He hasn't identified it yet. He's working his way through rats still on the 1st floor. And Jeff wants to complete the levitation quest, but cannot. It appears he doesn't have the potion, so he's just opting to continue on. Lord Yufubu here on the 2nd floor. He's got leather armor already, which is decent and makes the run look a little bit more hopeful. And Jeff has dropped a battle axe. I didn't catch what item he has equipped now as a weapon, but... oh, he does have a battle axe. It looks like a venomous battle axe is what Jeff has. So he's dropped the other battle axe in favor of the battle axe he's currently wielding. It's a battle axe +3. So Jeff has a lot of damage. A whole lot of damage here. And he's one-shotting skeletons with a surprise attack, which is pretty powerful on level 9. Very powerful. We'll see how he fares against Tengu, though. That your melee weapon isn't as powerful against Tengu, so we'll see how that fares for Jeff. And Lord Yufubu is here, still on the 2nd floor. He's found himself a battle axe, but it's unidentified. He's just enchanted his dagger. It looks like Lord Yufubu has a 2nd blazing dagger. It appears. And he's about to identify something. Or maybe he's decided to hold it. Oh, he has a ring of satiety, is what Lord Yufubu has identified. I think it's +1. Ring of Satiety +1. He can equip that now. I'm not sure if he did. But that's a very good item, I think, to have from the beginning of the game. And Jeff is on Tengu the boss. And is easily killing him. It looks like he used a potion of flame there at the end. And he is eating and continuing on. He has a very powerful weapon. He's half health with some mail armor and feeling good, I think. Lord Yufubu's still on the 2nd floor here, just completing his rounds of the floor. And seeing what he can find. I'm just going to mute myself on Discord here. Okay, and Jeff is well into the 11th floor here after defeating Tengu. And he's quickly approaching the DM 300, so... But again, you never know when someone could throw a run, so... Lord Yufubu fighting crabs on the 3rd floor. He's half health, but his dagger seems to be working out decently well for him. There's a lot of potions in his bag. Unidentified potions. He identified a scroll of the Loud Roar scroll. I can't remember the name. Jeff has made it to the 12th floor already. This is going a lot faster than I anticipated. He set Lloyd's beacon at the beginning of the 12th floor. And he's about to explore the rest here. He's just doing the graveyard quest. Lord Yufubu still on the 3rd floor here. Figuring out where to go next. Sorry, I'm kind of new to casting, you guys. I'm like watching and trying to cast at the same time, but I'm a little new to it. Lord Yufubu does not have space for the wand. He needs to make some here. And I don't know what his other wand is. Jeff is throwing out a glaive and a longsword from his bag, so it appears that he's confident in his battle axe, which I guess will be good enough to defeat the DM 300. Honestly, I'm thinking that making the DM 300 the final goal for the semifinals was actually too short, and we could say winning the entire game should be the ultimate goal here. But and Lord Yufubu on the 3rd floor still just exploring. He has an open floor, just finding items and making his way around. Jeff has an Ankh to continue. He's getting closer and closer to that 15th floor quite quickly. Just getting some gold, which he realizes he doesn't need for the DM 300, and continuing on. And he's just considering his options between a potion of purification, liquid flame, and paralysis. Jeff's made it. Lord Yufubu's made it to the 4th floor again here with his 2nd blazing dagger run, which is interesting. It's a decently strong weapon for an assassin. And he set his enemies on fire there in the doorway, which is good. And Jeff has to restart his client. I believe he's lost his mouse, so that's a little bit frustrating, but he's back into the game relatively quickly, so that's good. And Lord Yufubu still working away at the crabs and Knoll Scouts on the 4th floor. His leather armor is working decently well for him. Just aggroing these crabs one at a time. And another crab appears. A little unfortunate. And he decides to root it. And instead go for the other crab for the time being. Jeff on the 13th floor has used his other map of his other scroll of magic mapping to see what he's up against, and is making room for his bags for this bomb. Still only has the mail armor, but has the very strong battle axe. The mail armor is +4. And his battle axe is +3. He has enough damage and armor, I believe, to take on the DM 300. Lord Yufubu is still sitting on a leather armor, which is decent, a ring of satiety, and a blazing dagger. Not particularly powerful items, but they seem to be working for him okay. Although he is somewhat low health. He has used a scroll of magic. Lord Yufubu has used a scroll of magic mapping, so you can see what's going on that level. And Jeff making good progress here on the 14th floor. He's swiftly approaching the DM300 and should be fighting him soon. And Lord Yufubu's made it to the 4th floor with his Wand of Regrowth. He's checking for seeds, using his Wand of Regrowth. And Jeff is healing up and preparing for the DM300 boss fight on the 15th floor right now. He's upgrading his armor, maxing it out. And his weapon, he has a battle axe +5 and mail armor +6. And he's looking, and many potions. It would be hard for him to lose this fight. And he's ready to go straight into it. Just searching for the DM300 now. Lord Yufubu's still on the 4th floor. Still exploring and fighting Null Scouts. With his basic armor and dagger. He's quite far behind Jeff here. Jeff kiting the boss, using some bombs, and looking for an advantageous position to fight the DM300, but he's allowed the DM300 to actually heal all of its health, which is quite a bit, and he's opted instead for the direct approach. And Jeff has won the game. Jeff has won this match, and Jeff has won the match here. I'm not sure if you can hear me, Lord Yufubu. Jeff has defeated the DM300, so this series is complete, or this match is complete between these two contestants. Good game, both of you. Good effort, good effort. So we have our first, finals winner, Jeff. With no resets, did very well with an battle axe +5 and mail armor +6. And our second contestant, Lord Yufubu, was not able to get past the goo. Had 2 blazing dagger runs, but put in a very good effort as well. Thank you to our 2 contestants. We'll now go into we will now go into a short break we'll go into a short break soon to set up the next semifinals match. Jeff had Heroes Remains on level 15. Looks like he intentionally died there to try to transfer something useful. Is there a rule against that? And if not, should there be? That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't see what happened. This is my first time casting. I do not have a co-caster or anyone watching for that sort of thing. But, you're Uchu Stranger. Welcome here, by the way. You're welcome to review the VOD later and double check for that type of thing. Although I'm confident in the the fairness of our contestants here. I'm fairly sure that they did not take advantage of any exploits like that, as we can see it in chat. So bad play for me on first go, then rushing in second run. First goo. Yeah, it was rough, Lord Yufubu. You took some big hits there. You had some really nice armor, but you took some big hits from some supercharged hits from the goo that allowed it to kill you quite easily. You need to kite a little bit further back in order to avoid taking those hits before you go at the goo again. So yeah. What do I do here? Let's do this. So yeah, we'll be going into, let me just make a little overlay here. I can unmute all of our... Let me just make... Let's see here. Let's add some text overlay. We'll say okay, and the text will say... text will say winner. Or we'll say match one winner. Or Lord Yufubu. Or sorry, for Jeff. What am I saying? For Jeff. My mistake. Uchu Stranger. Yeah, there was no rule against that, so I did that. Oh, you used an exploit? Okay. That's correct. I didn't specify that, so unfortunately, I guess that could be... It's part of the game? It's fine. I didn't specify that clearly enough, so it's okay. This first okay, it's part of the game. Well, whatever. It's fine. So everyone's okay with it. But you exited. I got 400 gold second run with it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine. No. I mean, this is our first. This is my first. You know, I think I might say no to that the next time, but it's fine because I didn't specify that now. It was a good win. Jeff was quite confident. He moved along quite fast, and managed to reach the DM 300 with good speed. So it was win fair and square. Okay. I could have gone faster. I just wanted to make sure I don't throw. Of course. Yep. Yep, that's what I thought Lord Yufubu was doing as well. It's better to take it slow and make good decisions instead of, you can easily throw one run and then maybe two and then that's it, right? So it does make sense to go slower. Yeah, and throw on goo. Yep, that was unfortunate, but it does happen. It still happens to me all the time now. So when I was already better off. Yeah, right. Yeah, you were. Yep, you were on the fifth floor when Lord Yufubu was on the fifth floor when Jeff was on the sixth. So Lord Yufubu was catching up. He was doing decently well, but unfortunately, those supercharged goo attacks did kill him. Unfortunately, so yeah. I'm not sure if there's anything else I should say here. Um, yeah, it was a good game, decent win indeed. Good game, Jeff. Good game, Lord Yufubu. I'm not sure what else there is to say here. I think we will move into the second match. So yeah, I'm going to mute my microphone and we're gonna get working on the next match here. So please bear with us while we figure out the technical details. Again, congratulations, Jeff, winner of the first semifinals of the first Pixel Cup. And I'll actually go into just the break screen here, and right after we'll have the next match between our next two contestants. Thank you again, Jeff and Lord Yufubu, and congratulations, Jeff. Okay, so we are almost ready for the next match. We have R2EG versus Quasi Stellar, and I need to decide the class for them to compete under. And I will decide that right now. So sorry for the delay, everybody. Thank you for your patience. Just need to figure out which class these competitors will be playing, and then we will get into the competition. So they'll be playing Warrior Berserker. Let me just update the overlay and then we will get started.
I got so lucky. I only play Warrior Berserk.
Oh, that is perfect. We can give you a file that allows you to unlock those other subclasses there, but we can worry about that later. Let's just get into this game here. Let me just update the overlay quickly, and we will be ready to start momentarily. Okay. So we have Artuigi versus Quasi-Stellar. Let's make sure he's showing up. And we will be ready very soon. Please prepare for a new game and be ready to click the start button on my mark. I will count down, and on the count of 3, you will start the match. 1, 2, 3, go. I believe we have a little bit. And I think we're capturing. Okay, let's get some audio happening here. And Quasi-Stellar is finally into his run. Has Quasi-Stellar started? We're very delayed for Quasi. I think we're delayed by about a minute or 2, actually, unfortunately. So hopefully it doesn't come down to mere seconds between these competitors. Quasi-Stellar enchants his short sword, and it is a blazing short sword. Already here on level 1. First, enchanting his first item immediately. R2AG is using his darts right from the start to kill rats. That's a strategy I use myself. I think it's a good one. R2AG's found a bomb and a leather armor and a mail armor, equipping the mail armor immediately. And Quasi-Stellar is on the 2nd floor already. I'm just gonna fix R2AG's box a little bit here. I want to be able to see his floor number. I think we can see it a little bit better there now. Okay. Let's get the music back. Interesting. So Quasi-Stellar has a wand of flock that he's using. I'm not sure to what effect there, but I guess to prevent the other rat from seeing him and aggroing him at the same time. Quasi-Stellar is still on the 1st floor, and R2EG has made it to the 2nd floor. R2EG has leather armor, and Quasi-Stellar still only has cloth, but he does have the blazing short sword. And Quasi-Stellar has also made it to the 2nd floor. R2EG has a ring equipped, but he's not sure what it is. He's wearing cursed leather armor, which could be degraded. And R2EG comes across a wand here after killing this Null Scout. Quasi-Stellar is on a crab on the 3rd floor already. R2EG is still exploring the 2nd floor. And R2EG did not identify the wand he found. Quasi-Stellar exploring the 3rd floor here, again with his Wand of Flock. I don't think he has an upgraded weapon or anything. He's opting to save his darts instead of spending them. Where R2EG is completely out of darts already. Quasi-Stellar is on the Ghost quest. Oh, Quasi-Stellar has defeated the Ghost, and he now has a mace, which he's upgraded. It is level 12, which he doesn't have enough strength for. But it seems to be dealing enough damage for him nonetheless. And his health is looking decent. What's happening? It appears that either it's some delay or something. It almost looked like Quasi was teleporting around the map. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe it's a trick of the eye or an item I didn't notice. But anyway, Quasi's moving quickly. He's still on the 4th floor. He's reached the 4th floor now. R2EG is on the 3rd still, exploring, finding scrolls, etc. What do you mean, Jeff? Please elaborate. He does seem like a pretty cool guy. And R2EG comes across the Ghost quest. Finds another wand. Both of our contestants finding wands. Oh. Both of our contestants finding wands. Relatively early here. R2EG having a hard time dealing with this ghost, which is regenerating its health. He does finally manage to kill it. Took some damage there. And receives a longsword +1 for his efforts. What? Quasi-Stellar seems to be dropping frames or something, because it looks like he's almost looks like he's teleporting from one spot to the next. I'm not sure what's going on, but so Quasi-Stellar does have the B. He has 3 bombs. He's looking good for this goo battle. Seed of Fire Bloom will let him catch goo on fire and can continue to let him burn in the doorway. R2EG was just perform worse with cheats. That much of a gamer, indubitably. R2EG still on the 3rd floor, just killing some mobs and looking for some items. I'm not sure if he equipped the longsword, but Quasi-Stellar has defeated the goo quite handily here, and he's just checking his spoils of war from the Rat King's room. And Quasi-Stellar is dropping quite a few frames or something here, because it appears he's teleporting almost. Does anyone have an idea what could be going on there? I'm not sure what I'm looking at. Um, R2EG upgrading his longsword. I believe he just enchanted it. And just exploring a few more rooms on the 3rd floor here. Quasi-Stellar has finished his shop with the shopkeeper, and he's balanced his mace for even more speed. Interesting. So he's not opting to balance his fast weapon for speed, for accuracy. He's going for even more speed, which is interesting to me. R2EG has the Among Us sword. He's sus like us. He's sus like Among Us. Isn't that OP? Quasi-Stellar says hacks when I say, how is he teleporting? Honestly, I'm not sure what I was looking at there, but we'll let things play out. Quasi-Stellar has found a wand of regrowth. And R2EG is still on the 4th floor. 2 floors behind Quasi-Stellar. Quasi-Stellar looking very healthy. Taking very little damage here, actually. And he does not bother to unequip his... he does not bother to unequip his weapon to fight the flies. It doesn't seem he's worried about potions. He's balancing his sword for task doing efficiency. It seems so. I have never balanced a fast weapon for speed, but I think it could be quite effective, which it appears to be here. R2EG fighting some crabs here on the 4th floor, still exploring around, looking for items. Quasi-Stellar exploring the 6th floor. Looking for some doorways. Maybe looking for a key for that door. And he found it. He found the hidden door. R2EG has come across a well of healing. And he's just dealing with some items in his bag. He heals himself using the well of healing instead of opting to put it into his dew vial. And Quasi-Stellar's just found a tombstone, which has yielded him a nice scale armor. And R2EG has made it to the goo. Finally here. He goes back and heals with some dew. And the goo is running around a little bit trying to locate him. And R2EG has retreated to the water to get rid of the poison debuff on him. And is now fighting the goo with hand-to-hand combat. And it's working out okay for him. Quasi-Stellar has made it to the 7th floor. And R2EG is on the 5th floor. He's just defeated the goo, Greedy DZ. Quasi-Stellar is fighting a pack of flies here. And it's working out for him quite well. He's a little low health, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. He's utilizing that Berserker... He's utilizing the Berserker passive quite well to get additional damage down on these flies. Quasi-Stellar plays amazing, yes. He's doing very well. He's only 1 level ahead of R2EG now, though. And his leather armor is about to break. It's not ideal, but he has popped a potion, so he's feeling okay. R2EG is doing some shopping now on the 6th floor after defeating the goo and collecting his gold from the Rat King. Yeah, I feel like he'll destroy me. Quasi-Stellar is quite knowledgeable about the game, so... Alright. Quasi's still dealing with this pack of flies, taking quite a few hits, but he's dodging quite frequently as well, so... He does pop another potion to deal with these flies, and it looks like R2EG has lost something to a robber, unfortunately. He's gonna have to retrieve that item later on. And Quasi-Stellar's still fighting a bunch of flies. So many flies here. Seems hard to escape these flies. How is this? I feel like this music is so loud. I'm just gonna decrease the sound a little bit. Even more here. That should be better, I hope. That should be good. Okay. And let's continue. My computer is a mess of windows. I've got all these windows open here to make this stream happen, so... Like, what just happened? He was in the room and then he teleported outside of it. I don't get what I'm seeing here. Someone please watch the replay. R2EG is fighting a skeleton on the 6th floor. He's close behind Quasi-Stellar here, but neither player has needed to reset yet. They each have enough talent that they have not died yet, not to the goo nor to any other enemies. Quasi-Stellar's unequipped his mace now, and it looks like he may be trying to farm these flies. R2EG's come across a mimic, but it appears that he has armor of multiplicity, is what I think I saw there. Quasi-Stellar's throwing out his items. And it looks like he's choosing an item to upgrade, or... I'm not sure. I think his leather armor possibly broke, so he is trying to prevent further degradation? No, that wouldn't make sense. I think his stream must be dropping frames. I'm not sure what's going on here. Quasi-Stellar's stream must be dropping frames. His mace is dealing a lot of damage. Quasi-Stellar's mace is dealing a lot of damage, so it doesn't appear that he's even worried about the leather armor. He's just maxed out his mace and is dealing damage that way. So R2EG has now made it to the 7th floor, and the contestants are basically on the same level here, though R2EG still has the entire floor to explore, so in some way he's still behind Quasi, but they're getting much closer, so... Yeah, Quasi-Stellar has dropped 2 health pots. His armor does seem to be a challenge for him, so... It is definitely a challenge when you don't have good enough armor. What did I just watch? And Quasi-Stellar has gotten an item stolen away from him, from a robber, but there's no point in chasing. He puts the sheep to block the way for the robber and goes back to shop here. He buys a scroll, and it is a scroll of Identify, which allows him to identify the Scale Armor 15. It's a good item. which he'll need soon. And R2EG is on the 7th floor. It looks like he's healing up through food. Oh, sorry, he's healing up through a seed of sungrass. Good use of the seed of sungrass. And he has a scale armor now. So he should be feeling quite good. He just picked up a battle wand. It's a wand of firebolt. R2E just picked up a wand of firebolt. And Quasi-Stellar's just grabbing another pot from the shop before he continues on to back to the 7th floor. And again, the same thing happens again. It almost looked like he teleported. I think maybe his stream is slow and it's catching up again or something. I'm not sure what's going on there. So R2EG has a wand of slowness, it appears, that he's using on his enemies, which is can be quite a good wand. And he's using a tempered longsword. The skeleton drops a spear, but he doesn't even care. He's just continuing on. And Quasi-Stellar has retaken the lead on floor 8. And he's still not concerned about his armor. He's just using the broken leather armor. Fortunately, he caught fire there and he was levitating, but he did not burn too much. So he's all right. He throws out the scroll of teleportation to trip the poison trap there. And R2EG just fighting mobs still on the 7th floor and exploring the floor to see what he can find. And Quasi-Stellar is just popping enemies with his weapon here. Which, with what looks to be a shocking mace. His shocking mace that's buffed for speed is dealing large amounts of damage. Yes, this is looking quite close, Jeff. It is looking quite close indeed. I may have to review the VOD, unfortunately, to see who won. If it remains this close and they defeat the boss at a similar time. Quasi started, I don't know. It was like 20 seconds later. Hopefully it doesn't mean a rematch, but we'll see what happens. R2EG still making his way through the 8th floor. Our contestants are both now on the 8th floor. R2EG killing a few skeletons. Our contestants are just looking to see what's around them. Just exploring the 8th floor to see what items they can find to increase their advantages. Quasi-Stellar eating to maintain his health. He still has the broken armor. Surprisingly. And yep, nothing too exciting here. Enemies, our contestants are just fighting enemies on the 8th and 9th floor. Quasi-Stellar has made it to the 9th floor, so he is somewhat ahead of R2EG, though R2EG is close behind and should be finished the 8th floor soon. Quasi-Stellar now looking at a broken mace and broken leather armor. He should be able to use the armor soon. I imagine he should be close to strength 13. And yeah, Quasi-Stellar dropping quite a few frames here, unfortunately. I'm not sure what type of wand he has there. R2EG still on the 8th floor, still behind Quasi-Stellar. And R2EG just finishing up the last little bits of the 8th floor here. While Quasi-Stellar is fast approaching Tengu, I imagine. Has he run out of scrolls of upgrade, or he just doesn't think it's necessary to use them, or... I didn't notice. He's got the Seed of Earthroot now to get his wand. Dropping more frames. And he finally manages to equip the scale armor, which we're all relieved to see. Very good. And is his mace... His mace is still doing damage, but it's not upgraded, as it is broken. Which he doesn't appear to be concerned about Quasi-Stellar. R2EG has made it to the 9th floor. It appears he's pausing for a moment to consider something. And Quasi-Stellar is exploring the 9th floor as well still. Our contestants are almost neck and neck, with R2EG lagging only slightly behind Quasi-Stellar in his exploration. And Quasi-Stellar is on the Tengu floor and ready to face this boss. He has 2 honey pots. He has 6 bombs. He has a wand of flock. A potion of levitation. He has 9 potions of healing. So it appears that this is why Quasi-Stellar was not concerned about his armor or weapon. He has so many potions of healing that it doesn't matter. He does need to be careful to make sure he doesn't take too much damage, but he heals up without trouble at all with that amount of potions, the amount of flies that he farmed. And Quasi-Stellar did indeed take advantage of that. R2EG still exploring the 9th floor. And R2EG has also made it to the 10th floor. And we'll be looking at Tengu shortly. Quasi-Stellar defeating Tengu without any trouble. And continues on. Our contestants are very close indeed. R2EG upgrading his armor before taking on Tengu. And using his Wand of Flame to set Tengu on fire. Quasi-Stellar in the shop on the 11th floor. And it looks like R2EG also just handily defeats Tengu even faster than Quasi-Stellar did. And now our contestants are quite close indeed. With Quasi-Stellar heading back to the 9th floor to get his wand, it appears. Frames drop harder than Potion of Healing. Yeah, they're quite bad. I'm kind of confused, but anyway. Both of our contestants are on the 11th floor now. Quasi-Stellar is shopping. R2EG exploring around. Somewhat faster, a little bit more... with a little bit more concern in his motions here. Still checking all these bushes though, just in case. Has full health. This game reminds me of Fall Guys and Among Us and Super Mario Bros. 2. I agree! I've been trying to put it into words for years, Raining, and you just captured it. You just captured it perfectly like that. He forgot the wand maker. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And Quasi-Stellar has an open floor here in front of him, which doesn't really matter, it seems, unless he comes across mages. Or what are they called? Null Shamans. But he has a lot of potions. Quasi-Stellar has a lot of potions, so he's feeling okay, I believe. I don't even know if he's upgraded his mace, so... And R2EG is finished with the 11th floor, is headed on to the 12th floor, so our lagging contestant has actually overtaken the lead here. And is making some headway. We are all going insane. Why are we going insane? Kalotl. And R2EG's on the 14th floor, if I'm correct now. Just zooming ahead. Quasi has healed himself with a Quasi-Stellar has healed himself with a Well of Healing. and is continuing on with the 12th floor. R2EG is well into the 14th floor, exploring around, facing a few cave spinners at the moment. But it appears that he has a wand of Amok, from what I think I saw, and is making the cave spinners fight the Knoll brutes. R2EG, watch out for SCP-173. It's really dark. R2EG should just go for the boss, honestly. Possibly. I think our contestants are playing this quite safe. Neither has dropped a reset here. So they are playing carefully, I believe. But yeah, but they're relatively close, though R2EG is 2 floors ahead of Quasi-Stellar, only 1 floor now. Oh, and Quasi is returning for something on the 12th floor. He's actually gone back to the 12th floor to return for something. I'm not sure what. R2EG is still exploring the 14th floor, has a good lead on Quasi, but is opting to continue exploration. He's missing a key for a door, so he will return for it. Quasi-Stellar on the 14th floor now. Somehow back on the 14th floor. Very fast when I looked away for a moment. Yeah, I don't think if this is close, you should go for exploration. I'm not sure. I mean, it depends on the strength of your items. Sometimes I've faced this D3, D1 300. Oh my god, I can't even remember the name of the boss. And I've died to him, so they may just be playing it safe here. But they're both on the 14th floor. It's very close indeed. Very, very close. And R2EG set himself on fire here by accident. He's also poisoned, and he's rooted, but he should be okay. Rooted by this cave spinner. Quasi-Stellar also fighting cave spinners. 3 at once, it looked like. R2EG is playing very amogously. Done? Oh, Quasi-Stellar has already won, it sounds like. We have a very big delay from his stream, so I'm not seeing that here, but it must be true. The stream delay is very real. We'll need to find another solution, I think, for the finals match. But Quasi-Stellar, I guess just looking on our screen, let me just finish casting this. And it appears they're both on the boss. But indeed, it does appear that that Quasi-Stellar finished out before R2EG by a very short margin. A very short margin. All right. Okay. Hello, R2EG and Quasi-Stellar. Good game. This was extremely close. Quasi-Stellar was playing with about what appeared to be 20 seconds of lag or so. So I was looking at the delay and I thought I had enough time. Oh, yeah, this is the problem I feel with you guys looking at the stream while you guys watching the stream while competing against one another, but I suppose it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I think it was about 20 seconds before that Quasi beat it. I think we will give him the win here, because his stream had quite a bit of delay. I'm not 100% happy with how this production's gone with the delay on Quasi-Stellar's stream. And the what is it? What is it called? The frame dropping. So we'll need to figure something out for the final match. But we're saying Quasi-Stellar is the winner here. Quasi-Stellar has won by a very close margin. R2EG was lagging behind for quite a while, then pulled ahead actually for a little bit, and then Quasi-Stellar overtook him and defeated the boss ahead of time. I do believe Quasi-Stellar had quite the delay. Please keep it family friendly there. Jeff. So yeah, we'll say Quasi-Stellar is the match winner here. It was very close indeed. But I suppose that I will announce him as the match winner. We'll need to figure out a better streaming setup for the finals match, as it was pretty confusing. So we'll need to resolve that for the finals match, and I will review this video later to see how it went. But yeah, congratulations, Quasi-Stellar, and very good game. Well, I knew you will warn him. Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a family-friendly stream, so we gotta keep it family-friendly. It's okay. Yeah, thank you again to both contestants, and I'm sorry for the lack of clarity around the winner and the stream delay. But I'm going to say that that Quasi was the winner here. Thank you for both your participation. It looks like R2EG has left us. Okay. Sure, we can talk technical for a moment. I'm going to put us on a break, and after we will have the finalists competing against one another, Quasi-Stellar and Jeff. Hello everybody and welcome back to the finals of Pixel Cup 1. We have semi-finalist winner, match winner Quasi-Stellar, and semi-finalist match winner Jeff duking it out here in the finals. This will be to beat the entire game, still with 2 resets. And I will decide the class right now, the subclass right now, with the roll of a die. And let us see what we get. So we are on Warlock. We are on the Warlock subclass. Warlock is the subclass both of our contestants will be playing for the finals. And I'll just update the overlay here in a moment. And then we'll get right into the match. And this should be quite a long match, as beating Yogg is a little bit further than the DM300, actually quite a bit further than the DM300. So my computer is complaining a little bit. It's had a tough haul here. Okay. So again, we are on Warlock class. This is the finals of the first Pixel Cup, Jeff versus Quasi Stellar. And we'll be getting to this shortly. Okay, are you guys both ready to go? Okay, perfect. In 3, 2, 1, go. Much better. No more delay for our contestants. Let me just mute these two players, and I will mute myself in Discord as well here. Let's go mute. Okay. Quasi-Stellar is my choice. Go Quasi-Stellar. Good luck. Warlock new class. Ocage. Ocage. And our contestants are off. Jeff finds a sacrificial altar and is calling rats towards him right now to get that scroll of wipeout. And Quasi-Stellar is already on the second floor. He's found a ring for himself, and he's done a jump down quest. Half health and looking confident here. He's also found a wand of lightning. That is a significant advantage, I'd say, in these early levels, and it's a decently powerful wand. Wand of lightning often allows you to kill rats with single hits. Actually, I don't know a time when wands don't kill rats with a single hit. It's an extremely powerful wand for Quasi to have here in the early game, so it's a bit of an advantage. Jeff's still exploring the first floor here. And moving at quite a fast pace as is Quasi-Stellar. I'm seeing clicking happening a little bit more ferociously in these games. So yeah, the competition is definitely on. Quasi-Stellar uses the Wand of Lightning point blank and takes some damage himself from the Knoll Scouts, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's still full health and looking healthy. And Jeff has made it to the second floor as well. My computer's struggling with all these windows open, but it's still working here for us. Oops, we don't want that on the screen for Quasi-Stellar at all. Let's just remove that. Okay, that's better. Did Quasi didn't reset, did he? I don't think he did. No, he still has the same wand. Okay. Good. And Quasi finds a second ring for himself here and equips it immediately. He has a ring of herbalism +2 and an unidentified ring, while Jeff is on the second floor, has just completed... Oh, is working on the ghost quest and handily kills... the rat for that quest easily. Picks up a weapon, a glaive 18. It's not upgraded, but he does pick up a glaive on the second floor, as Battle Mage is not quite as useful as a Wand of Lightning will be for Quasi-Stellar. It's definitely a more powerful tool for Quasi here in the early game. And he does have the option to upgrade that. However, Jeff will have a glaive he can upgrade later on if he does want to have a melee weapon that does more damage, in the mid to late stages of this game. So and Quasi using a combination of his wand of lightning and his wand of magic missile to kill enemies here comfortably on the third floor. Easily full health, and as is Jeff. Both contestants are nice and healthy. Quasi Stellar encounters a mimic and is using his wands to kill enemies easily. Jeff comes across a ghost, does the graveyard quests, and is retreating to kill those behind doors. Dealing with a crab now, and it's not the most comfortable experience for him, but he does manage to get those items from the graveyard there anyway. Quasi-Stellar now has a Wand of Flock as well. He's hiding himself in the corner and healing. Using the Wand of Flock to block off enemies from disrupting him while he is healing from his food. Both players on the third floor, so they're quite close to one another. Basically neck and neck, these two, so it's possible that they're watching each other on Twitch. A strategy I didn't foresee, but it makes sense, so it could be quite close. I mean, giving oneself more time based on one's competitor could be helpful in some scenarios. And Quasi-Stellar has filled a dew vial for himself with the Well of Healing. He's having good luck for this run at the start. Very good luck. 3 wands so far. Not the best wands, but the Wand of Lightning is very good in the early stages of the game. And Quasi on the 4th floor here. Jeff still exploring the 3rd. Dealing with the crabs is quite tough with somewhat low damage, and Jeff must reset. Jeff forced to reset. Unfortunately with a death, and is down to 1 more reset left. And I'll just update the overlay here. Quasi-Stellar comes across a animated statue, has no interest of course. There's no need to fight the animated statue as Battle Mage. You use your wands over your melee weapons. And Jeff doing another quest here for the scroll of Wipeout. Where Quasi-Stellar is on the 4th floor. Jeff using that search key in order to drive enemies to him more quickly while standing on the altar. Oh, interesting. So Quasi-Stellar opting to use his Wand of Magic missile to attract the crabs to him on water first, and then finish them off with the Wand of Lightning. Jeff on the 2nd floor now. Moving as quickly as he can here. He found himself 2 seeds of Sungrass. Very, very good seeds at the beginning of this game. In the early stages of the game. 3 seeds of Sungrass, no less, should allow him to sustain quite comfortably. Quasi-Stellar has an axe, a battle axe +4, and has enchanted it into a venomous battle axe. Already identified by the 5th floor, and Quasi-Stellar is onto the goo. Jeff struggling with enemies in the first few levels and dies again, unfortunately. His wand does not have enough damage. And did we take a pause? Here's Jeff is taking a pause for a moment. To consider his options, maybe. I'm not sure. Jeff has not reset yet. Let me just Jeff, you do have one more reset. You can continue. You do have one more reset, Jeff. If you would like to continue. You've reset only once so far.
I have reset 2 times. You can push the bot if you need to.
You reset already? Oh, really? I thought it was only once.
No, I did it 2 times like an idiot, and the first one I reset because it was on the first floor, and oh yeah, you won. Okay. Fuck me, I'm so stupid.
Okay, watch your language. It's all right. You're still on stream.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's all right. These things.
You deserve it, honestly.
Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna mute you here and close out the stream. Just a moment here. So it appears that I guess I missed it. I have been just trying to deal with the overlay, and I've been trying to deal with the overlay and changing things. So Jeff did indeed have another death earlier on there, and Quasi-Stellar made it a bit further. And I guess this is how it goes with Pixel Dungeons. Sometimes you get good runs, and sometimes you get very bad runs. And I was wondering if I should maybe give more resets. I was just concerned that the games would extend too long. Yes, enemies too strong indeed. Something we're all familiar with. But Quasi-Stellar is the winner. Thank you for the match, Jeff and Quasi-Stellar. Good game, Quasi-Stellar, for the win. He did get quite a bit of good luck for his win there. He got a Wand of Lightning, a Ring of Herbalism, a Wand of Flock, and the Venomous Battle Axe quite early on there. So he had very good luck, which made his run quite easily. I'm sure we're all familiar with not getting good enough items in the early stages of the game, especially as Battle Mage is particularly challenging. So yeah, Quasi with the advantage there, but with also with the good gameplay, and was able to pull out the win for the finals of Pixel Cup 1. So congratulations, Quasi-Stellar, as the winner of the first Pixel Cup 1. Your prize is 20 euros. It was indeed quite unlucky for Jeff, but he did say he died. Not on purpose. He had a few mistakes and slip ups there, so that does come into play as well. But luck was pretty strong with you in this finals match here. Quasi-Stellar was very short indeed. GG indeed to both participants, and we have Quasi-Stellar as our winner. Jeff is second place, and our other players both in third. Lord Yufubu and R2Ouija. I would prefer Legendary Anime Rivalry, but GG. Oh boy, that was a very, very fast final match there between our finalists. Let me update this. It's not match 1. Let me just update this text here. Okay. Quasi-Stellar finalist winner of the first Pixel Cup. Omawe Mao Shinderu. Yeah, I was too greedy in the second game and died, and then I had to rush and we wasn't able to play properly. That's the challenging thing, right? Like you get when you get behind, there's a temptation to rush, but it's more easy to make mistakes then, right? So it's a very, very interesting challenge to both play quickly and play carefully at the same time. It's something I struggle with this game very often. So I really understand the pain. I did it too, so I understand you. Yep, Lord Yufubu had some struggles as well in his match, so against you there, Jeff. So yeah, we all feel the pain of the unlucky runs sometimes, and the misclicks, and just the bad decision making. So it can be tough, and it can be frustrating. Yeah, any final thoughts before I close us out? I'm not sure. I don't have much more ceremony this for this for the ending of the stream here. I think I could have maybe um like gotten some photos or something for the final um bit of the stream here. But let me see what I can do. Yeah, any final thoughts, everyone? I think all losses was because mistakes in gameplay were. Quasi-stellar interview. Oh, sure, let's... Why not? Let's do a quasi-stellar interview. Why not? Let's do that. Just a moment here. Yeah, let's do an interview. That sounds good. Let me just unmute Quasi-stellar here. And let's get into the interview. If that's okay with you, Quasi-stellar.
Hello, people of the internet.
Hello, people of the internet, indeed. Yeah, I mean, maybe you just want to talk about, your thoughts about all the games that you played, or the two games. I guess you only played two games. You didn't need to reset the two matches you played today.
Well, first game started fine. I didn't die, and I got, I think I got enchanted +1 short sword on depth 1 or 2.
Right, right.
Then I get mace +1, I think.
Yes.
On depth like was it 3 or 2? And I think, oh, mace +1 is enough to beat DM 300, so I'll keep it and use it as my main weapon. It could be much worse. I could get like knuckle duster +0, so mace +1 is more than enough for me. And
Right.
then I started making mistakes. I forgot about what. I remember I had to backtrack to the shop on depth 6, which lost me a lot of time because I equipped a cursed armor.
Ah.
And then I was actually watching the stream, so when I heard that my opponent is already on depth 14, when I was like on 13, I was like in a hurry. I tried to rush to DM, but got surrounded by 3 spiders.
Ah, right.
But then I realized that my stream is delayed, and when you say that my opponent is on depth 14, and I am on like, I don't know, 12, it means that I'm actually far ahead, and I don't need to worry as much.
Ah, I
At the
see.
end, it was pretty close. Yeah. First
Right.
game was kind of bad on my part, but second game, I just walk out of the entrance room and I see a wand. I'm like, what?
Oh, wow.
Up and it's lightning. It's like the best wand you can get on depth 1
Yes.
as a mage. And I think, well, that's kind of good. And then I get set ghost on. I jump in the repeat on depth 1 to rush to the depth 2 instantly. By the way, you should do that every time you're at full HP. And even if you didn't explore the floor entirely, you should jump into the pit. Because you can come back later. And once you have full HP, you should definitely jump.
Ah,
So I do that, and I get a ghost, and ghost gives me Warhammer +3. And I like, well,
oh, the battle axe
gonna
plus
be
3.
battle axe, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
The wand of lightning.
Yeah,
Go.
this time I already spent one of my upgrades on my starting wand to later disenchanted, so I had one less upgrades left. So I had to equip it even though I didn't have enough strength. Again, even if you don't have enough strength, you should equip a good weapon like this, because you can just literally one-shot every enemy in sewers if you do surprise attacks. And
Right.
by the end of series, I was able to upgrade it to what it was +4, and so it was enough for me to handle, and I killed Gu. But at the time, I found out that my opponent was having some troubles, and it was very sad to know that he used all of his resets. I guess that's it.
Right. Yeah, you did have some good luck, but you had some good gameplay. I do remember in your match against R2EG, you were lagging behind a little bit, and I was somewhat concerned, but also surprised, as I know you're very proficient at this game. I do have one question for you about your you let your armor completely degrade in the first match versus R2EG, as well as your mace. And I was concerned about your health and how you would make it through. I just want to. I'm curious what your thoughts were on that and why you allowed that to happen.
Well, about my armor, I don't really care. Like, laser +0, how much does it save? A random number between 0 and, what was it, 3? And, or more, I don't know, maybe 4. And when you upgrade it, it's a random number between 0 and 6. So, if it breaks, like, when something breaks, it starts working like it is +0. So my
Oh,
armor is now +0 if it, when it's broken. So it now uh,
it's
blocks 1 point of damage on average per successful hit. So it's not big of a deal. If I had uh, other steals in the game yet, I'm not sure. If I had a scroll of enchantment, I would enchant it, but I didn't have it. And when I broke my mace, I was like, well, uh, what do I do? I have only upgrades to fix it, because I wasted everything else. It was a mistake. As you can tell, never break your weapon.
oh. So, but
So
why didn't you use a scroll of upgrade to on it then, though? Or
because it wastes the scroll.
so you
I
were you waiting for a better weapon then, or
I was waiting for an enchantment, or for me
uh
arriving at depth 11 to buy another stone and fix it with a stone. But I ended up using an upgrade anyway on Tango.
right? I see.
So
Okay.
that's a major mistake.
You also farmed flies quite a lot. I saw you killing so many flies, and by the time you reached Tengu, I was concerned because of your broken armor and because of your broken mace. And then I saw you open your bags and you had like 9 healing potions. Were those all from flies?
Most of them were from flies, but you could have noticed that when I was fighting my first fly, I actually lost 2 healing potions to them, and
Okay.
I received only 1 from them, so it's kind of random. But on average, you benefit from this greatly.
Okay.
Pricksters is asking, Wand of Teleport or Wand of Bing. Both are extremely good. I think if mm, I think if well, I'm actually not sure. Mm, Both are extremely good. Probably, if you're fighting a single enemy, then teleport should be better because you teleport it away and then you just stand still and wait until it comes to you, and then you kill it with ranged weapons or whatever. Definitely, both those ones are better if you use some ranged build like Battle Mage or Huntress. So, for example, as Huntress, you just teleport your enemies away and kill them with a boomerang. So, Huntress with Wand of Teleport is much, much, much better than just normal Huntress, especially if you get it early on. Wand of Blink, it's basically the same thing. You just both of them increase distance between you and enemies, so you have more turns to kill them with ranged attacks. If you're using some melee build, then well, they just help you to run away, basically. I'm not sure what is better. Mm. Yeah, I'm really not sure. So that's the answer.
Okay, thank you so much for that. For answering that question. Do we have any more questions in chat for our winner, Quasi Stellar? I'll wait a few moments here to see if anyone else has any other questions they want to ask. But yeah, it was quite interesting. I'm glad you clarified your thinking for he enlightened us. He did. He did indeed. I'm glad you clarified your thinking for the mace and the armor. That's good for me to know. I definitely learned something there, and I was really wondering.
Don't upgrade your close armor, kids.
Right. Don't listen to Uncle Pixel Diamond. Listen to Uncle Quasi Stellar. Yeah, I was surprised until I saw those health potions. I didn't realize how many you had managed to farm. Again, I'm not sure if I heard. I didn't hear quite clearly, but you did get all those potions from the flies, right? Or
yeah, most of them.
Yeah. It was such a huge amount of potions, and when you have that large amount of potions, it's almost often a very good sign of a good run, even if you don't have good weapons or whatever. It allows you to go further and get more chances to get better items. So, but they were only going to the DM 300 for that first run, so it wasn't as much about waiting to get good items, but seeing what you could work with until you got to that point. But yeah, neither of you died before reaching the DM 300. It was just a matter of who got there first. So, good game indeed.
I just realized my other mistake. After killing Tango, I should have rushed to DM 300 as soon as possible because I had bombs, and I ended up killing DM with just bombs.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
I couldn't stop anyway in case.
Yeah, the bombs are really powerful. As someone who's played like an older version of the game for a long time, using bombs are actually incredible. They're very easy. They make it very easy to kill bosses. I mean, other mobs, of course, but bosses too. They just chunk their health. I'm kind of surprised at the amount of damage they output. Yeah, bombs are the bomb. All right, so there's no more questions in chat for Quasi here. Thank you again for the interview, Quasi, and congratulations again on your win for the first Pixel Cup 1 here. We'll be in touch after the stream to get your reward to you of €20, and yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say here other than thank you very much, everyone, for helping me make this happen. Everyone who joined Discord and all the thoughts that were given. Quasi Stellar himself did give me some pointers and feedback on the event. There was a number of other people who gave me thoughts and ideas for the event and what to do. Lots of people joined the Discord. We had a lot of good chats. And I really appreciate the participation and just everyone getting involved and also showing up for the event itself. I do realize that there were quite a few hiccups with the production, just the technical side of things, which I think I've resolved for the next the next time. So, you know, the next time we do have a Pixel Cup, it should be better. In terms of technical production, it should just be a bit faster and more smooth. Music and stuff, I think, will be better. I'll improve the overlay so that it's easier for me to update it and that type of thing. I'll probably also put a timer on the overlay so that everyone can see that. I'll try and organize a prize pool. I didn't quite get to that today. It would have been nice to donate some more money to the pot, but I think that 20 euros is a good starting prize for the first Pixel Cup anyway. I think I will do a Shattered Pixel Dungeon tournament at some point. I don't know about the Pixel Cup 2, maybe for Pixel Cup 3. But I think I will do a Shattered Pixel Cup tournament just because so many people prefer Shattered over vanilla, and I'd love to do something like that for the community. People love to make fun of vanilla Pixel Dungeon, but I don't mind. It's still my favorite. So, but just keep that in mind, everyone, that yeah, vanilla's the original. It's a little simpler than Shattered. So keep that in mind, everyone. I may do a Shattered Pixel Cup sometime in the future here for you guys. I know you'll definitely, for you Shattered Pixel Dungeon players, you'll appreciate that more. So yeah, once again, thank you everyone for watching and participating. Congratulations again to Quasi Stellar for the win, and
Have a good rest of your life.
have a good rest of your life. That's right. Quasi Stellar is still with us. Okay. Yeah. So thank you again, everyone, for watching. Have a good morning, evening, or night wherever you are. And I'll see you again for my Tuesday stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Take care.